Greetings. So today I'm interviewing Mr. Prateek Bansali. Mr. Bansali is the CEO of Bimal Bansali Ventures. It's a company which is into polymers and packaging, also into construction of warehouses and factories. Mr. Bansali is also a mentor for more than 2,000 students, and I'm glad to be interviewing him. Good evening, sir. How are you doing?
Good evening, Kedar. Really happy to be here and anything for youngsters.
Thank
You're
you.
the future of the country, and it's good to inspire you.
Sure, sir. Thank you. So before we start off with the interview, I like to ask you a generic question. What is the meaning of friends in your life and how do you choose your best friends?
How come you started with this question?
So
With
the
its
interview is like will be formal. So before that, just to get to know each other, I like to ask this question.
ah interesting question. And which families we are born, we do not choose.
Yes.
Which city we are born, we don't choose. When we are born, we don't choose. But over a period of a lifetime, the heart and the soul connects us to few people whom we call true friends. I generally have a very small inner circle because I don't open up easily. I can count them on my fingers, but they are very special people and they mean the world to me. It's just like an extension of myself. When I speak to them, the topic is irrelevant. Just to know that I'm speaking to them gives me happiness and brings a smile on my face. When they are happy, I'm happy. When they are sad, I'm sad. I want them to do super well, inspire them. Not necessary that we meet every day, but yes, they are an extended part of me, deep inside my heart and my soul. And I would do anything for my friends, never let them down. So, yeah, this is what friends mean to me.
And that's a great feeling to have, sir. I also feel the same about my friends. Yeah, sir.
Fantastic.
So let's start off in the interview. So my first question is, you have been the CEO of Bimal Bansali Ventures for over a decade now. Can you explain what your business does in particular?
Right. I did my schooling from Bangalore, Bishop Cottons, and mechanical engineering from the Anand Sagar Institute. MBA from Christ because I missed out of IIM Bangalore by 1 percentile that year. This was in 2008. And Christ was by default the second best option. I was heading the placement cell, got placed in a good company, went to work in the morning, 5 p.m. the same day I resigned and I came back. I understood this is not my cup of tea. And for 6 months, I joined my father's office. He used to run a small MSME into polymers and packaging. And we realized that there's a lot of demand and supply gap in Karnataka because most of the packing material which is used to pack corrugated boxes like BOPP tapes and strapping was actually being procured from other states like Tamil Nadu, Gujarat, and Maharashtra. So we did some survey on how we can have a fully automatic plant for a strapping line and went to Germany for an exhibition called K. It's the world's largest plastic and rubber fair. So generally, whatever new technology and machinery happens there, so you learn a lot for 5 days. They quoted 7 crores for the machine. I didn't have that kind of money. So after 2 months is the China Plast, which is the world's second largest trade fair for plastic and rubber machinery. So people in China said, we'll give you similar technology for 1.5 crores. Again, I didn't have that kind of money. So we got some parts from China and everything else was indigenously developed in Mumbai. I actually met a gentleman at the China Plus counter who was from Ahmedabad.
Okay.
And then we got our parts and AC drives and motors, everything from ABB, Siemens, and all electronics in India and the other parts. And we put up the first plant in 2010, which costed us about 70 lakh rupees then. My mother sold a flat she had for 50 lakhs, and so she was my first investor.
Uh,
And my father signed few documents which gave me an overdraft limit of 25 lakhs to begin with in a nationalized bank. So that's how we started. And yeah, the first 6 months were very difficult because I was the driver, I was the operator, I was the tally. We could not afford an accountant, so I used to learn tally at night and do the bill entries in the morning and sleep on the factory floor because once production started and I came back home, before I would reach home, I would get a call that there are issues in production and the quality is not being maintained. That's how it is in the initial days, unless things settle up, meeting vendors, getting the right raw material, and then marketing and telling people. how buying my strap could help them save money, how the quality was better, how they could how we could give them material in quick time. Because when you buy from Gujarat, it takes lead time. They take 2 3 days to manufacture, 4 days of logistics. So the supplies come in after 7 8 days. And here with us, anybody in Karnataka who wanted material could order today, and we could give them tomorrow morning. So God was kind, and every 2 years we started adding up capacity, and that's how we started the first venture, which is Bimal Corporation. Again, my father's name. And in 2016-17, we started a construction and a warehousing company called Shivtara Constructions and Warehousing, where we were procuring industrial land and building warehouses. So one afternoon, all of a sudden, a gentleman walks into my warehouse under construction, and he introduces himself. He says, "Hi, I'm Shailendra Sharma, chairman of Kanti Sweets." And I was very humbled by the way he spoke to me, put his hand on my shoulder, and he bought out the first warehouse that we were making because they were looking for a packing warehouse to keep the packing material near their factory. And yeah, God has been kind since then. We've done 5 mega factories for them, and yeah, everything's in control. Both our companies are in zero debt today as we speak. We had lots of debt during COVID, but God is kind, and I have a lovely team, good people who are working with us. So everything right is because of the team, and everything wrong is maybe because I was not good enough. That's how my office works always at both the
It's so
companies.
inspiring to hear that. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that's
So you've told this whole story, and it's really heartfelt. And I wanted to ask you, you started a business from scratch, and you made many contacts, and you built a business. So how do you handle a crisis in business? Because while building business, there are lots of crises on a daily basis. So how do you handle one?
right. To every youngster or every budding founder or entrepreneur, what I would tell them is there are no failures or crises. You may be surprised. Why am I saying this? There are only situations. Just like we have situations in personal life, you have situations in professional life. Your machine breaks down. One way to look at it is to call it a crisis. The other way is to say, okay, it's a situation. The machine has broken down. Your vendor gives you raw material of inferior quality. One way is to call it a crisis. The other way is to say it's a situation. There are heavy rainfalls and your dispatches are delayed. You can call it a crisis. The other way is to call it a situation. So always zoom out, look at the longer picture, because good enterprises take decades to build. You look at Tata Group or you look at Reliance Industries, they've been built over decades and decades, quarter century, half a century, and even more. So good things take time. And as and how you have situations, first thing is you don't panic, you stay calm, because your panicking or getting into panic mode does not help in any way. It's during your tough times and tough situations that you need to stay really calm so that you can objectively understand what the situation is, where things have gone wrong, what you need to do to fix that gap, and be honest. Tell your clients that yes, shipments will be delayed. Never lie, never be afraid or false promise people. Accept that yes, things have gone wrong. Work on it very honestly till you're able to solve it, and make sure that you don't repeat the same mistakes again. You learn from your mistakes. Now, a small example: a few months ago, the office internet just went went off, so our GST online billing stopped, and it was a situation. For 6 hours, we had no internet. Without internet, you can't bill. So what we did is, okay, this is a situation, and what we learn is we're going to have backup internet. We have one vendor giving us Wi-Fi. We have a backup Wi-Fi now. That may cost a few thousand rupees a month, but that makes sure that the next time anyone goes off, the other is working. So you learn from that and you say that, okay, my billing should not stop in future if something like that happens. So it's all situations. Have your contingency plan, learn, and keep learning every day. Learning is a continuous process.
Well said, sir. It's a
And
great
smile,
analogy.
have some humor. Don't let situations put you down,
Yes, sir.
and you don't you don't start sulking. In fact, you become more energetic once you have challenging situations. So yeah, that's how it is.
I've also heard that you're starting a financial services venture. Can you tell what it's about?
Yeah, we've been working on it for a year. I
Okay.
think it's going to take another 6 months because the right team of people, lots of discussions, right technology, back-end office, marketing, finances, everything has to be in place. It's again going to be bootstrapped. We are not looking at any money. And it's basically going to be a SEBI registered company, which would be into sub-broking, mutual fund distribution, AI products, distribution of AMC house products, and loans, audit services, both direct and indirect taxes. So our clients can get GST and income tax services from us, filing returns. Also, a lot of financial literacy. So we would divide our clients into HNI, ultra HNI, working people, special focus on women entrepreneurs and housewives and people, because I believe women are very good finance managers, but somehow they've not been a part of the financial inclusion. And we can guide them and understand and speak to them and tell them how you can invest your money so that your money can do well and you can become financially independent. And anybody who wants to list their company, get an IPO done, we would have partnerships with companies who do that. So it's basically a stock market company, a financial service company, which would have our own app and technology platform. The core part would be no client of ours should ever lose money. Good things take time. So it's going to be long-term focus and no quick money. I always tell people generating wealth is boring, losing money is entertaining. So if you want to make a hell lot of money, buy crypto or maybe go to Mahalakshmi racecourse and bet on horse number 7 or 9, whatever your lucky number is. You will either make a hell lot of money in one day or you will lose all your fortunes on the same day.
That's true, sir.
To me, slow and steady and sustained. So there are no shortcuts to money.
That's great, sir. So you are also a mentor to many students. So what is the one mistake you see students doing in this generation? Maybe.
Uh, no mistakes. The youth have a lot of energy. The energy needs to be channelized. One thing I see is they get very upset or restless when they don't see quick success. So your time horizon of thinking has to be little long. I think most of the youth only live in the present week. What I have to do this week, this Friday, this Saturday. Little things have to change. There's a Japanese proverb which says that short term is minimum 10 years. So any budding founder or entrepreneur, if you cannot devote a minimum 10 years to your venture, my humble suggestion is don't do it. Because there are going to be economic ups and downs. You're going to face good times, bad times, not so good times, situations. So once you stand the test of time, at least for 10 years, and you're able to sustain it, then I think you'll be able to sustain it for the rest of your life. So also don't get into this race of being a unicorn and getting rich quick. There is no such thing. So grow slow and steady. Keep your finances in check. Do not over leverage and do a small pilot test project before you go in full throttle. And what's the hurry? I mean, grow slow and steady. No, you can be passionate about what you're doing, but have a good, one important thing I would say is have a very good and strong feedback system. Listen to your workforce, listen to your employees, even listen to your security team. Even they have so much to teach us. Listen to your clients. Never say that I know everything. Always be receptive to listening and learning. I think a good leader should always say all good things are because of my team and everything bad is because of me. So that humility is important, and the being reciprocative to feedback is very important.
That's a great thing, sir. So another thing is nowadays networking has become one of the most important things in the life of any professional, or whether it be businessman or an investor or even a student. So how can one network better, especially for students?
Uh, it starts from your college. If I take you to a classroom, suppose you're in a section of MBA or BBA, and I ask you, can you name everybody in your section? The chances are you will not be able to know everybody's name. You'll only be able to know 5, 10, 15, 20 people's name. You'll be knowing 4, 5 girls' name you don't speak to, or they don't speak to you. But I doubt, and I have a genuine feeling that there will be these 10 or 12, 15 people whose name you do not know. Generally, one more thing that is seen on campuses is if you're from a particular region, if you're from Kerala, you tend to hang out only with your Malayali
Yes,
friends.
sir.
If you're from Maharashtra, you tend to hang out with your Marathi friends. So try and build friends across regions in your classroom. Your classroom represents India. It's mini India. You've got people from various backgrounds, various regions, various languages. So try and speak to people who are not from your region. You learn from them, you learn about their culture, you learn about their background, you learn about how things backend works there. You learn about what kind of agriculture happens in that city or state. So always, if you wish to speak to somebody, walk up to them, be respectful, be humble, extend your hand, say a warm hello, good afternoon, I wish to speak to you. don't be in a nutshell where you're afraid speaking to people. So open up and speak to lots of people. And then as you move, attend lots of conferences. Nowadays, all these schools have lots of events and
Yes, sir.
conferences in various universities, in various corporates. Uh, Try and volunteer for such conferences where you get to meet good people, successful people. Observe very carefully. Observing is one skill which teaches you things which books cannot teach. So in life, always have the skill of observing people, what they do, how they speak, how they carry themselves. When somebody important is speaking, listen to them very carefully because those are things that they give from their real life experiences, and books do not teach you that. Books are only going to be a part of what you learn. Life, reading books is important, but life is going to teach you about real experiences when you meet people and listen to their stories, both success and failure stories.
Good, sir. So before we finish the interview,
By
I like,
networking, I do not mean go to Tinder and Bumble. That's not networking,
yes, sir, I
right?
understand. Sure, sir.
Right.
So at last, I'd like to have a rapid fire round now. Okay, so who's your favorite entrepreneur?
Indian entrepreneur, I have two specific
Okay.
favorites, three of them, four of them. Okay.
Okay.
To start with, it's legendary Sri Ratan Tata ji, whom we lost a few
Yes.
months ago. And I'll give you a reason also. For him, it's because of his resilience and compassion to do good for India. The first passenger car, Tata's, the
Mm.
first cancer hospital, Tata's, the first steel factory, Tata's, the first airline, Tata's, the first largest IT company, Tata's, the first major space research organization, Tata's. So it's nation building. For the Tatas, it's always been India first. So Sri Ratan Tata ji. Second, I really admire Sri Mukesh Ambani for his vision to do and make it happens.
Okay.
And he always thinks large and he acts fast. Just to share with you, the Jamnagar refinery, which is one of the largest refineries in the world, owned by Reliance Industries, was made in a span of, I think, less than 2 years. It takes 2 years to build a house on a 40-60 site. And if you can build a refinery, it's time delivery. And the legendary Dhirubhai always used to say that ideas are nobody's monopolies. Act fast, think big. So Sri Mukesh Ambani for that reason. Third is Sri Narayan Murthy. And Rohan was a senior at Bishop Cotton. So I've seen Narayan Uncle and Sudanti a few times at school when they used to come for our convocation and parents teacher meet and other events at school where they were chief guest. Dedication to work, doing the same things day after day, every morning getting up at 6 o'clock, going to office at 7, staying on campus till 7. Vision, when people thought IT, computer, people didn't know what's going to happen, but he had a vision that, everything's going to get digitalized. So Narayan Uncle for that. And fourth is Dr. Devi Prasad Shetty, who's a renowned cardiac surgeon in Bangalore, chairman of Narayan Health. Again, his son Varun is my very close friend. So I've got the opportunity to speak to Devi Uncle lots of times, even today, since school days. The way this gentleman has come up, his compassion. I remember one quote of his during an interview. He said, if I am given 100 lives, I want to be born, reborn as a cardiac surgeon because doing a cardiac operation and giving treatment to people gives me happiness which nothing other does. So yeah, these four: Sri Ratan Tata, Sri Mukesh Ambani, Narayan Murthy sir, and Dr. Devi Prasad Shetty.
So the second question is, what do you do to relax?
Uh, I work to relax. When I'm tired, I work more. When I have fever, I work more. And apart from that, I do workout every day. I have a gym at home, so I try to keep myself physically fit. I do meditate every night. It gives me happiness because we are humans, but we are not machines. At the end of the day, apart from our karmic duties, you need to do something for your soul, where you try and understand what's the purpose of life, how the universe works. So I do meditate and try and understand few secrets. I love to go on long walks, look at the sky, sing some old songs, and just keep staring at the moon and the stars. It sounds very filmy, but the night sky, the moon, and the stars do give me a lot of energy. So these are few things I do to wind off.
Great, sir. So, who is the one person who you admire the most? Just one.
Admire the most?
Yes, sir.
Any particular topic or in general?
No, sir, in general, as a person.
Individual, somebody I
The
know or
individual.
just a random figure?
Somebody you know, sir.
It would be two people again. Sri Shailendra Sharma, the chairman of Kanti Sweets.
Okay.
He's only 47 years old. And one line which he always tells me during all our meetings is do the right things even when nobody's watching. So his work commitment and how being heading a big company and still staying calm, always having a smile on the face and always being humble. The other person's my cousin brother, Mr. Vikas Jain, who heads Mangalam Pipes Private Limited, one of South India's largest HDP pipe manufacturers. I love him for his spiritual talks because generally 4 or 5 times in the evening I go for a walk with him and he teaches me a lot about life, which no other book would. And he's the only person who, there are few people, but he understands my silence. So I don't even have to tell him what I'm feeling. The days I'm not feeling right, he knows I'm not feeling right. The days I'm happy, he knows I'm happy. So yeah, we have some soul equation there. So I look up to him.
Great, sir. Great having this interview with you, sir. I learned a lot of things, and I hope the people who view our interview also would learn a lot of things from you.
Every youth, you're the future of the country. You need to work hard, have big dreams. Anybody who tells you this is not possible, stop listening to them and back your dreams with dedicated hard work. You're going to do fantastic things. Make your parents proud, make India proud, and keep smiling and keep shining.
Thank you, sir. That's a great sentence.